Good morning. Tonk is exactly where he's not supposed to be. How about he? Tonk, tonk. The Fierce but Flexible is the truth bomb I pulled today, which is in perfect keeping with what I want to talk to you about. If I can get the camera set up here. Good morning. Good morning. Whoops. I've got orange cats everywhere. Hello. Fierce but Flexible is our truth bomb today. Claiming your desires, but being flexible about when and how they get to you, and even what they might look like when they get to you. Let me get situated here. Oh, I know, it's the best. Happy Sunday! I have a bit of a headache, so I'm going to skip the oil scope for today, as I need to do my daily thing for myself and others, but the oil scope is like optional. I consider that one optional. It's the best ever. Hi, everybody. So we are going to talk about the Big Magic book, but first I wanted to talk to you about a brief section in the Desire Map book, because it has to do with the discussion that we were having about not asking for anything versus asking for stuff, and the way you ask. Oh, thanks. I've got tons of that around here, so I will. I've got my Sarah Mala on, which is Peruvian opal. Hi, Susan. And we'll see how that goes. I think it's allergies or whatever. Anyway, so Danielle Laporte has a blog post out there somewhere about asking a Buddhist monk about how to find the balance between wanting what you want. She's so amazing. Yeah, this is a ruby and Peruvian opal, and yeah, it's incredible. I love it. Wanting what we want, and then also not being attached to the outcomes, because that's what makes us suffer. And he said the same thing that most teachers say, is that it's both. You can't stop wanting things, and any practice that tells you that you need to stuff down your desires is not for me. I don't agree with that at all, because stuffing down desires means they're gonna pop out elsewhere when you least expect them, usually. So, or they become sublimated into addictions or relationship problems or whatever. Anything unacknowledged, a desire, you can't dam a river without having some consequences. It's really just that simple. We're rivers of energy, and when you put a dam in place, you create consequences. Every time. So trying to deny anything, your good parts or your ugly parts, your lofty desires or your petty desires, trying to deny any of it or reject any of it just creates more shadow work for you to do later. So best to just skip it. Hi, Nina. Hi, everybody. I know I missed a bunch of names, but I saw you. I see you. So I'm going to read to you real quick from the Desire Map book. Yeah, letting the river flow is, good morning, Linda, is the best, your best option. In my opinion, for my personal life, it's my only option, my only one. I'm not willing to live a distorted energy flow any longer. So, when you're clear on how you want to feel, you can be open to what life wants to give you, and life usually has something even better in store for you than what you've imagined. Stay anchored to the desired feeling and open to the form. Stay anchored to the desired feeling, what you imagine you would feel once you achieve whatever it is you want. Stay anchored in that and let go of the form. Content over form, right? Go for the core of it. Go for the guts and let go of how it comes to you and what it looks like. because freedom might be different in reality than in your head. Freedom was one of my core desired feelings for a long time. Desire brings light to darkness. Longing felt fully carries us to belonging. That's Tara Brach from the book Radical Acceptance, which is a great book to read. Hi, Sarah. So this is what I know to be true. And this is true for me too. I've proven this method to myself 100 times. When things get rough, I do this and they get better. And then in the past, then I've stopped doing them. Until last year when I was like, I'm not stopping this time. I'm not stopping when things get better. Good morning. So this is what I know to be true. When I'm in a hellish kind of anger or feeling disconnected, I want to get out of it as fast as possible. It's taken me years to realize that tuning in to my most desired feelings, my preferred states of being, gives me immediate relief. Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. Oh, you guys saying hi to each other. And more than that, it helps healing to happen. So the situation is that she's describing, I'm feeling angry because something is not the way I want it to be. My partner just did that thing again, and I'm pissed right off. How many times do I have to ask him not to do that thing? Huff, 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 grr, puff. The cascading effect of disparaging monkey mind chatter is this. He can be such an asshole. No, I'm an asshole for thinking he's an asshole. But he's got a problem. I mean, really, if he'd only change that one thing. No, there's something wrong with me if only I'd change. Buddhist, feminine, flexible, understanding. This is just an old wound. This is all my crap. This isn't really happening. Maybe I should move my therapy appointment or read some Pema Chodron. Blah, 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 blah. That's what we do, right? And the mental loop plays over and over. So then I try to pull out of it by thinking happy affirmation thoughts, which doesn't work. It's fake cheer and it's intellectualization. They burn me out even more, and it drags the conflict even longer. Yes, right. Yeah, we all have these same things in our heads. Here's the solution, and I keep coming back to this over and over again. None of this chatter or analysis, whether it's true or objective or not, actually helps me feel better in the moment. Analyzing where things came from, analyzing what it means, analyzing each little word and pattern and whatever is entertaining for the mind, it doesn't solve the problem. It never, ever does. It's entertaining. It's interesting to the mind. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't change anything. Yeah. It doesn't make you feel better at all. By feel better, I mean centered and at one with my life source. By feel better, I do not mean right, soothed, or placated. I'm not interested in a band-aid for my pain. I'm interested in the antidote. In the toughest of moments, what makes me feel better is thinking about my core desired feelings. If things are feeling constricted and downright impossible, I think, I desire light. What I really want is fluidity. Good morning. Good morning. And I prefer communion. It interrupts the mental jackhammering. And then I feel closer to home, aware again of my soul. So you can say to yourself, I feel whatever, angry. So you acknowledge the feeling. You give it its moment. And you say, I would prefer to feel flexible. I would prefer to feel my power. I would prefer to feel connected to source. I would prefer to feel catless. That's not true. That's not even true. As soon as you stop and say, I'm feeling this and I would rather feel joy. I would rather feel, whatever. Divine ease. I'd rather feel connected. It helps. It starts to shift. You got to accept where you're at. You can't push it away. Like she was saying, that's just, ridiculous. Real life reality TV show in your head. Right. Yes. And we all are running that same show in our heads. Okay, so reminding myself of what I really want in those moments. I haven't invalidated what's happening, and I haven't taken myself future tripping. I've just plugged into my ever-present desire. What are you doing, buddy? Recalling your desired feelings when you're not getting... What is it, buddy? Oh, gosh. Recalling your desired feelings when you're not getting what you want. Here's what this does for you, okay? This core desired feeling stuff is no joke. It's super powerful. It's not... She calls it core desired feeling, but it's... Esther Hicks calls it finding the feeling place. Sanaya Roman calls it the feeling tone. The Bible says act as if you've already received it. Vortex. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But here's what it does for you. It anchors you in the mental storm. It gives you a place to settle. It interrupts your mental complaints. It points you in the direction of what you do want instead of getting stuck in what you don't want or don't have. It allows for some optimism and some hope to slip into your mind, which gets you closer to the expanded state of what's possible, which opens your heart, which is not only comforting, but allows the light of consciousness to enter, by which you can see more clearly. Thanks for the shares and the hearts and stuff, and just your presence. When the light of consciousness is helping you see more clearly, you can make empowered choices. You can't make good choices until you're back in that connected state. You'll make choices from an ego place. You'll make choices that you think are going to relieve your anxiety fastest, because we hate that feeling of uncertainty. That's not a good place to make choices from. Get back centered. Get back connected to your larger consciousness, and then you won't even have to decide what to do, because the information will be there for you. You can see solutions, you can find remedies, you can feel gratitude for what's happening in the moment, even when it's not technically good. And this last one alone can change everything. You can lighten up and laugh, and you can stop being such an asshole to yourself or others. So when you're jammed up, feeling hopeless, blind with rage, play the desire card. I desire harmony. Confidence, please. Yes, both. It's usually both. If we're being a jerk to ourselves, we're being a jerk to others. Freedom, thank you. It may take the universe a few hours, days, or years to deliver. More accurately, it might take you a while to be ready to allow those desires in your life. And we've talked about that a lot. There's a time gap. And while you're waiting, you can scream and cry with your eyes tight shut, or you can have your head up and live your life and focus on feeling great and create your stuff, and don't worry about it. It'll come when it's time to come, and when it gets there, you can be exhausted, or you can be rested and refreshed and ready to take advantage of it. No, it's not easy. That's why it has to be practiced every day. Yeah. The key part that I missed for years was the practicing every day. I just didn't do it. I did it till things got better, and then I stopped. And then I would wonder 6 months later why my life was in the shitter again. Because I didn't keep doing it. If you keep doing it, even on days when everything's great, you still do it. Because you're stocking up for when things are not so great. Okay, so that's all I want to give you about that. To feel the way you want to feel as often as possible, you just need to do easy things that help you feel that way every single day. One of my core desired feelings is divinely feminine. This is hers. Yes, perfect. That's a perfect way to do it. We carry our cell phones around like our blankie, right? So we always have them, usually. Practice, practice, practice. Yes, you're filling your tanks up. Setting a cell phone alarm that just reminds you to check in. Am I feeling how I want to feel? And if not, what can I do right now to feel that way? And you just do what's easy. Read a book. Take a walk. Just remember a time that you did feel that way. If you picked that feeling, you might not know 100% what it's like to live that feeling, but you've had the experience of it because you want it. You know what that feels like. So remembering that brief moment in time, if you can, how you felt the way you wanted to feel, will bring it right back into your experience, because our bodies don't know the difference in time. If I had a great experience when I was 3 years old and I remember it now, my body will respond with the same happiness now, because it doesn't know the difference. So that's how we hurt or harm ourselves with our own imagination. Let's use our powers for good. When you're not feeling the way you want to feel, it can take just a small gesture to shift your state of mind. Just the littlest thing. Seek out environments. Cut out some magazine pictures. You guys who are taking Annalisa's thing, that's a perfect example of cutting out feelings that bring you joy, that bring you pleasure. It doesn't matter what they are. It could be a picture of anything. If it makes you feel uplifted, cut it out. Put it in your book. Let's talk about some big magic. These things are all related to each other. They're all connected. Being fierce about our desires and fierce about getting clear on how we want to feel, and then being flexible where that goes and letting life reveal itself to us, rather than us going out with big giant sledgehammers and trying to make our worlds the way we think they should be. Right, kitty? What a goober he is. Is this cat not just the most ridiculous little cat? This is Juna. Feral cats bond tightly with one person. Juna was a true-born feral, and he bonded to me, and he's like my little shadow. Permission! Roseanne, we'll all write you a permission slip to feel however you want. I think we could do that. Roseanne, me too. They're my favorite. Orange boy cats are have a reputation for being the most affectionate, and it's true. So, Roseanne, we'll all give you permission to do whatever you want with your life. There you go. Bing on Roseanne's head with my magic wand. So, Grit is our other true-born feral cat, and she bonded with Heath. And they're very interesting. They're really wild. They're like bringing raccoons in your house. I don't know what we were thinking. Okay. So, let it come and let it go is where we were yesterday. We're on page... Nope. That's the wrong one. I think we're on page 76. Yes. A dazzled heart. What is it, buddy? I love him. He's just such a disaster. I do love him, though. Okay. He's not as big of a disaster as Tonka is. Juna doesn't dig into everything and turn things over in the middle of the night. Permission slip for Roseanne. There you go, Roseanne. Michelle has given you an official permission slip. And that's a very common thing, is we're waiting for someone to tell us it's okay to follow our dreams and to choose our feelings and to do what we want to do. Okay, so as for Ann Patchett, and as for how Ann Patchett saw what had happened between us, as for how she regarded our curious miracle about the Amazon jungle novel that had bounced out of my head and landed into hers, well, Anne is a far more rational soul than I am, but even she felt that something supernatural had occurred. Even she felt that inspiration had slipped away from me and landed with a kiss upon her. In her subsequent letters to me, she was generous enough to always refer to her Amazon jungle novel as our Amazon jungle novel, as though she were the surrogate mother to an idea that I had conceived. That was gracious of her, but not at all true. As anyone who has ever read State of Wonder knows full well, that magnificent story is entirely Ann Patchett's. So the Amazon jungle story that we've been talking about turned out to be titled State of Wonder by Ann Patchett, Patchett, if anyone has interest in reading it. Nobody else could have written that novel as she wrote it. If anything, I had been the foster mother who kept the idea warm for a couple of years while it searched for its true and rightful collaborator. Who knows how many other writers that idea had visited over the years before it came into my care for a while and then finally shifted over to Anne. All I know for certain is that this novel really wanted to be written, and it didn't stop its rolling search until it finally found the author who was ready and willing to take it on. So that became Anne's story, which left me with nothing but a dazzled heart in the sense that I live in a most remarkable world, thick with mysteries. That's true, isn't it? Oh, thank God. It's very hard to talk with him on my lap. I don't know why. He's distracting. It's all called to mind the British physicist Sir Arthur Eddington's memorable explanation of how the universe works. This is what he said. Something unknown is doing we don't know what. That's it. That's how the universe works. Something unknown is doing we don't know what. But the best part is I don't need to know what. We don't need to know what. We spend a whole lot of time, and I'm guilty as anyone else, of wanting to know where things come from and wanting to ferret out all the details and remember every little thing and analyze the shit out of it. And we don't have to do that. It's absolutely unnecessary. If you want to do it, that's fine. Just own that it's not going to get you where you want and give yourself a time limit. Because our minds are designed to problem solve. Our minds, we need our minds to problem solve, but when it gets into areas like this, that same capacity to analyze and look for patterns and ferret out details is a detriment. It doesn't help us. The time limit is good, so give yourself, if it's a big one, give yourself a day, 2 days. Sometimes I'll give myself an afternoon of indulging in a bunch of mind activity. Sometimes I'll give myself just a few minutes because immediately what I want to cut back to is how do I want to feel? This is how I'm feeling, but I'd rather feel whatever. I've lost connection to source, so how can I get back in that connected state? Because that's what I really want. The truth of all of it is what I really want, is to stay in that connected feeling to all that is. The something unknown that's doing we don't know what. I don't demand a translation of the unknown. I don't need to understand what it all means or where ideas are originally conceived or why creativity plays out as unpredictably as it does. I don't need to know why we are sometimes able to converse freely with inspiration when at other times we labor hard in solitude and come up with nothing. I don't need to know why an idea visited you today and not me, or why it visited us both, or why it abandoned us both. None of us can know such things, for these are among the great enigmas. All I know for certain is that this is how I want to spend my life, collaborating to the best of my ability with forces of inspiration that I can neither see, nor prove, nor command, nor understand. It's a strange line of work, admittedly, and I cannot think of a better way to pass my days. That problem solving is thought among some areas of mental health. The problem solving ability gone wrong can lead to depression. So there's a book out there called, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. It might be The Mindful Way Through Depression, but I don't think that's it. It's mindfulness and depression. And the hypothesis is, and I agree with it, that our minds are problem solvers, and if they cannot solve a problem, they shut down. So when we get into areas that can't be solved, like, when we're wrestling with relationships or we're wrestling with things that we don't have any control over, we get depressed because our mind is like scrambling, trying to solve it, trying to figure out. It can't figure it out, so it just shuts down. And that can look like depression. And not all states of depression are that, but a lot of them are. And that's why I tell you guys all the time, your mind needs problems to solve. So give it problems to solve. Give it puzzles. Give it a class in something that you've never studied. that's going to be hard for you to figure out because it gives your mind something to think about. Take a class on quantum physics. Take a class on astronomy, which is really difficult. It's so much more complicated than just looking up at the stars. Take another language, learn Spanish, take a music class, do something to give your mind the activities that it likes. It's like having a border collie in your head. If you don't give a border collie a job to do, it will literally eat your furniture and literally eat your furniture. I've seen border collies tear walls out of houses because they had nowhere to go with their need to solve problems, with their need to work. And our minds are so similar to that. It's got to have something to do. So when it doesn't have anything to do, it'll start grinding, picking you apart, or it'll start grinding gears and picking your relationships apart, or your job, or your car. It starts comparing. So-and-so has a better car than I do, and that means all this stuff. And, you can take control of that process for yourself. Permission. Toddler brains are like that too. Wear it out. Wear your mind out and you'll sleep better. Good morning, Tina. Remove the suggestion box is our next little section here. And it's a few pages long, so we'll go through that. Oh my gosh, and the section after that, Roseanne, is called Your Permission Slip. I'm just going to go straight to the permission slip. We'll back up and read the other one. Your Permission Slip by Elizabeth Gilbert. Roseanne, here you go. Here's what I'm getting at, dear ones. You do not need anybody's permission to live a creative life. Maybe you didn't receive this kind of message when you were growing up. Maybe your parents were terrified of risk in any form. Maybe your parents were obsessive-compulsive rule followers, or maybe they were too busy being melancholic depressives or addicts or abusers to ever use their imaginations toward creativity. Maybe they were afraid of what the neighbors would say. Maybe your parents weren't makers in the least. Maybe they were just pure consumers. Maybe you grew up in an environment where people just sat around watching TV and waiting for stuff to happen to them. Forget about it. It doesn't matter. Look a little further back in your family's history. Look at your grandparents. Odds are pretty good they were makers. No, not yet? Keep looking back then. Go further still and look at your great-grandparents. Look at your ancestors. Look at the ones who were immigrants or slaves, soldiers, farmers, sailors, or the original people who watched the ships arrive with the strangers on board. Go back far enough and you will find people who were not consumers, people who were not sitting around passively waiting for stuff to happen to them. You will find people who spent their lives making things, and this is where you come from. This is where we all come from. Human beings have been creative beings for a really long time, long enough and consistently enough that it appears to be a totally natural impulse. Yes. To put the story in perspective, consider this fact. The earliest evidence of recognizable human art is 40,000 years old. By contrast, the earliest evidence of human agriculture is only 10,000 years old, which means that somewhere in our collective evolutionary story, we decided it was way more important to make attractive, superfluous items than it was to learn how to regularly feed ourselves. So we chose as a species, we started making art before we started making reliable food sources. By 30,000 years, if you want to go by these time frames. So for 30,000 years, we focused on art over productivity. And even in the, even our grandparents were doing most of their vegetable gardening. Grocery stores are a fairly recent phenomenon. Mass packaging of food is really, really recent. In the 1800s, 1700s, you didn't go to the grocery store and buy green beans. You bought them from the farmer who grew them from the seeds he'd planted the year before. So being able to go buy food in mass quantities, it's just not, we just haven't had it that long. And it's a little bit scary if you think about it. The things that we've lost in our ability to know how to grow food, your average person, Yeah, right. You ate whatever was there. And if there was no food, you didn't eat. And you learn to hunt and you learn to recognize plants, which involves creativity. You learn to recognize the colors and match them with the seasons to know, because some plants you can eat at certain parts of the year and some plants you can't eat. Once they flowered, you can't eat them anymore. And that knowledge had to be passed on from generation to generation, so that things weren't written down either. So that's something else you can do for your mind is grow something. Learn about gardening, grow some carrots. You can grow anything in a container. You can grow potatoes in a bucket. Not even kidding, we've done it. And it's extremely rewarding to the mind and the soul. The diversity in our creative expression is fantastic. Some of the most enduring and beloved artwork on earth is unmistakably majestic. Some of it makes you want to drop to your knees and weep. Some of it doesn't, though. Some arts of artistic expression might stir and excite you, but bore me to death. Some of the art that people have created across the centuries is absolutely sublime and probably did emerge from a grand sense of seriousness and sacredness, but a lot of it didn't. A lot of it is just folks messing around for their own diversion, making their pottery a little prettier or building a nicer chair. And that's fine too. You want to write a book, make a song, direct a movie, learn a dance? Do it. Who cares? It's your birthright as a human being, so do it with a cheerful heart. I mean, take it seriously, but don't take it seriously. Like, don't make it such a big deal. We all do it. We make it a big deal, and it stops us from doing any kind of making. Let inspiration lead you wherever it wants to lead you, keeping in mind that for most of history, people just made things, and they didn't make such a big freaking deal out of it. We make things because we like making things. When we were kids, we just made things. I go back to that a lot. When I was a kid, I just made things all day long. And I didn't care where they were going, and I didn't try to save them. I didn't try to monetize them. I didn't try to market them. I just made stuff. We pursue the interesting in the novel because we like the interesting in the novel. And inspiration works with us, it seems, because inspiration likes working with us because human beings are possessed of something special, something extra. Something unnecessarily rich, something that the novelist Marilyn Robinson calls an overabundance that is magical. That magical overabundance, that's your inherent creativity humming and stirring quietly in its deep reserve. And I feel like I may have frozen up, or there's some glitch in the Periscope thing. Oh, nope, you guys are just listening. Okay. Okay, are you considering becoming a creative person? I was like, okay. Are you considering becoming a creative person? I hate when people say this too. Too late, you already are one. To even call somebody a creative person is laughably redundant. Creativity is the hallmark of our species. We have the senses for it. We have the curiosity for it. We have the opposable thumbs for it. We have the rhythm for it, the language, and the excitement, and the innate connection to divinity for it. If you're alive, you're creative. That's why I wanted to scope Heath building the raised garden beds the other day, because sometimes men get dismissed as being creative because of the way they're, get back in touch with it. Find a random recipe and make a new dish. That's creativity. But men sometimes get bypassed as being not creative because what they're creating in our culture is not labeled creative anymore. So building a raised garden bed from wood that, he didn't go buy, he was creative about how he came by that wood, and then putting it together and designing it, and building a car engine is creative. So those stereotypically masculine occupations sometimes are not labeled creative when they are. I always say that Heath is the person we want around during the zombie apocalypse, because that he can create almost anything out of a big pile of what looks like junk. So please expand your definition of creativity. It doesn't have to be craft oriented. Yeah, poo on the labels. It doesn't have to result in a finished product either. Find some kids and watch them create all day long with no care for where it's going. And bring that back to life, whatever it takes. A really fun activity, if you like to cook at all, is to find some horribly complicated recipe and really dive into it. And go get weird ingredients that you don't normally buy and have to follow complicated steps. It will take your mind off most of your problems for hours. If you're alive, you're creative. You and I and everyone you know are descended from tens of thousands of years of makers. Yeah, they just create and play and create and play, and they don't care if their creations last or make them money or get attention. They don't care. The guardians of high culture. I knew a guy once, or I was engaged to a guy once who used to call them culture vultures. The ones who try and tell us what culture means and what art is and what we should like and what we shouldn't like. Culture vultures. Don't listen to them. The guardians of high culture will try to convince you that the arts belong only to a chosen few, but they are wrong, and they are also annoying. We are all the chosen few. We are all makers by design. Even if you grew up watching cartoons in a sugar stupor from dawn to dusk, creativity still lurks within you. Your creativity is way older than you are, way older than any of us. Your very body and your very being are perfectly designed to live in collaboration with inspiration, and inspiration is still trying to find you. The same way it hunted down your ancestors. All of which is to say, again, you do not need a permission slip from the principal's office to live a creative life. Or if you do worry that you need a permission slip, there, I just gave it to you. I just wrote it on the back of an old shopping list. Consider yourself accredited. Now go make something. So I skipped a section, but we'll go back to that. It's about her parents being hyper anti-authoritarian, not being willing to be told what to do. Permission slips. That is an extremely common thing in when you're a therapist. You get a lot of people who are so indoctrinated into following the rules and listening to authority that they really are waiting for permission to go live their life, permission to let go of their family stories, and they want you to give it to them. A lot of times people go to therapy expecting that the therapist is going to be like a doctor and give them a prescription to follow, like do this, this, and this, and then you'll be fine, and it doesn't work like that. At some point you have to take the reins of your own life, and you have to be the one that holds yourself accountable. We kind of hold each other accountable a little bit on our daily, those of us doing daily scopes, it's kind of an accountability. For me, it's an accountability system. It keeps me focused. If I know that I'm showing up here for myself and I'm also showing up for whoever happens to pop in for the day, that helps me be more consistent. It's been a really good tool for me to learn some discipline about a daily practice. But I had to do that myself. Therapy, when people go to therapy and you give them a lot of tools to use, thanks, me too, and they don't use them, that's called therapy interfering behavior, and it can be really frustrating for everybody. But the point is, a therapist can't give you permission, neither can a doctor, and neither can your parents. Nobody can give you permission. You have to do it yourself. It takes a level of personal responsibility that in the beginning we're not used to. We're kind of used to making excuses for ourselves. We're kind of used to letting, oh, good, great. That's good to know. That's very reinforcing for me. I really think our school system, I'm very opposed to our current method of teaching our children, which, by the way, if you want to Google it, comes from a Prussian model that was designed to create factory workers. Yes, you can guide and illuminate, you can offer. It is very hard. That's why this has worked really well for me. It's hard to hold yourself accountable. I do hold myself accountable all day long now. I don't let myself get away with the things that I've gotten away with for years, and it's noticeably changing my life. But it has been a hard-fought, uphill battle to get myself to stop looking outward for permission and instructions and looking inward. So to shift from an external locus of control, if you want to use the big words, to an internal locus of control, meaning that everything that I do in my life starts from inside. I don't look outside for permission. I catch myself still doing that, and then I learn hard lessons, and I stop again. Oh, good. Good. The big guns, yeah. Outside or metaphorically? Heath is running the tiller outside, and it's super loud. Oh, the locus of control. Yeah, the big words. The $2 words. So our school model destroys our children's creativity, and it makes them look outside of themselves for permission and for instruction. Because we're teaching to them. We're not helping kids learn. We're not helping them love to learn. Yeah. Morgan went to a Waldorf school until we couldn't afford it. It was expensive, but even that brief exposure and the things that we did at home, the things that we did at home helped her learn self-direction. Giving kids free time where you aren't entertaining them and they're not allowed to use the TV and video games to entertain themselves helps them find and stay in touch with their own internal impulses. Giving kids a giant box of stuff to do. Yes, school creates employees, not bosses, and it is based on a Prussian model, pre-industrial, taught to not say yes to the, do you like my drawing a picture? Yeah. Yes. I really hope there is a lot of new types of schools popping up, over the last few years. I really hope that those are available to more children because some of them are really expensive. And I hope that we can find ways. Sometimes the best thing you can do is ignore a kid. Yeah, you're so creative, or tell me what you enjoyed. What did it feel like to make this drawing? Yeah, school can be very shamey. Yeah, when a kid shows you their product, ask them how it felt to make that. Oh, how did you come up with that idea? What did it feel like to make that? Help me understand, what is the story about your drawing? You can tell I work so hard. Oh, I do. I'm a hard worker. Montessori schools are another great alternative. The baby's bedroom, I don't know if you noticed in the video of Ashlyn running down the hall, their bedroom is set up to where they can be as self-sufficient as possible. And they're not even 2 yet. So they won't sleep separately. They can't sleep if they're separated very well. So we put a giant queen-size bed on the floor with lots of pillows and blankets and stuff in the drawers that it's okay for them to have, so that and now they put themselves to bed. They get tired and they go to bed. Not always, but they make their own bed. They rustle up their own blankets, and when they wake up, if they wake up before everybody else does, they have toys and stuff to play with. They just get up and start entertaining themselves, and we're aware that they're awake. Yeah, they listen to their bodies, and they don't need help getting in and out of bed because the bed is right on the floor at their level. So, but some people would say, oh, the bed needs to be a proper bed. No, it doesn't. It needs to be a toddler world in their room. The world needs to be toddlerized. Just like yesterday with Avery determined to get in the drawer that had stuff she wasn't supposed to have. And I could argue with her all day long about it, and I did argue for a little bit and try to make the thing work. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, we totally do. We don't care about other people's opinions around here. And the easiest thing to do is just move it. Move the stuff until she's able to. That foil got ripped and shredded everywhere because I just let her have it. I mean, once she had it, they had a great time with that aluminum foil. But then I just moved the stuff out of the drawer. There's no point in setting up power struggles with 2-year-olds. You're going to lose. And then all you're teaching them is they want and can't have. So let them want and have whatever possible things that they can want and then have and create with. They're in their little kitchen all day long creating stuff. Oh, so I don't know that I'm always calm about it. I get frustrated. But, with that kind of stuff, you're just like, oh. I also have a cat who's perennially 2. He's going to be 2 forever. So, it's like, Moa! Just roll your eyes and move whatever it is they're into. Okay, I feel like I've just been talking nonstop. Maybe it's the coffee. He said it was stronger today, but it isn't. Yeah, so animals teach you how to work with another living being's abilities and limits. Your parrot. Oh, parrots are cool. Energizer bunnies, yes. Definitely. When the resistance is gone, so are the demons. That's a quote by PM UTC. That was a flip open. The foundation of a good relationship with intentions and goals is keeping in mind the primary aim of setting and working toward them is to feel the way you want to feel. He screams at all the wrong times. What's your parrot's name? Parrots are awesome. The external things we want to have, do, and experience are secondary goals, all of which get back to the whole cosmic point, experiencing your core desired feeling, or the feeling that you think coolly. Awesome. All right, let's, do you guys want to pull a card real quick? I've been on for a while, but let me check the temperature of my phone. Well, it's hot, but it's not too bad. All right, let's see. See what's handy here. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Are you warm, buddy? Are you warm? Okay. I'm really obsessed lately with this Mother Mary Oracle. So let's pull one from here real quick. Tonka is right now got himself in that basket sleeping on top of my headset that I use for my Desire Map workshops, which, by the way, we're almost out of time to sign up for the next one. February 22nd is the last day to sign up for the next one. And there's 2 people in that one so far. Feelings.eventbrite.com. You can't sign up after the 22nd. Because I just don't have enough time to mail all your cool stuff to you. Okay, so let's just pull a card for the group. Let's just ask what we need to know. You got your package, yay! Roseanne's in the level 2. Actually, several people in here today are in the level 2 workshop, which is pretty compressed. It's only 3 weeks long and it's a lot of information. And they didn't really give me much to go with, so a lot of it is just me pulling on skills and things that I've learned. What do we need to know? Mother Mary. It's so fun. It's so enlivening. I've got a great book. Patricia Ann McKillop is my favorite writer. She writes a lot of fantasy novels and stuff, and you have to really pay attention to her books, so I love them because they're really engaging and they take me out of this world. And that's what I'm going to do the rest of my day, is read about nothing related to this scandal. Yeah. TV shows. Sometimes I watch reruns of The Office because I just love The Office show so much. Not the later seasons, but just randomly Netflix a few episodes to just chill out. Okay. Let's see what we got. Today, Our Lady of New Vision. Yeah, her novels are rich and complex with imagery, and just, she's an incredible writer. Our Lady of New Vision is our card for today. Isn't she beautiful? Our Lady of New Vision. I love all the pink. So pretty. So let's see what this says. 16. Yeah. It's beautiful. Okay, Our Lady of New Vision is, I place my sacred eye opened. Yeah, sultry, that's a good word. I place my sacred eye opened in your heart so that you may see. Let go of small dreams and become receptive to fresh vision. My eye in your heart sees great beauty. Can you see the new vision emerging? Now is the time to dare to dream and to pray boldly and with conviction that the most beautiful vision you can receive will come to life in service to all. It's perfect. There comes a time in our life when new vision is required. And I would say for a lot of us on this scope, that is very true. Perhaps what we have once imagined would fulfill us has been experienced and we're ready for something new. Or perhaps old dreams have not manifested as we thought they would, and there is a reason for that. The vision was incomplete or in need of adjustment. So just let it go. There are plenty of times, yes, exactly. There are plenty of times in life when we have to grow to meet the vision. Now you have permission. Plenty of times where we have a vision and we're not there yet. Yeah, or the idea went elsewhere. And we have to grow into it. We have to stretch into it. And those are the best. Sometimes the vision has to grow in order to be worthy of us. So she's saying our dreams have been too small. We've outgrown little dreams. She tells us the vision we once were holding for ourselves is not all that it could be. I did. I thought it was good. I thought it was a lot similar to the collective unconscious. But you guys watch that. There's a Brooke Halen's scope yesterday on where ideas and thoughts come from. Is interesting. It was good. We can benefit ourselves and others by opening up and preparing to receive a greater vision, believing absolutely that it can and will manifest through her holy grace in service to all. If you are confronted with issues of self-worth, hello, anyone? If you're confronted with issues of self-worth, then you may believe that this guidance means your vision should become smaller. Hello. But in all likelihood, it's actually the opposite. Build a vision that is more open, more generous, more supported, and more involving of those around you. Whether you know your soul tribe now, hello, Tyler Perry, hello, whether you know your soul tribe now or you're waiting to attract and be attracted to those souls who will assist you on your life path, holding the vision is like flicking on the light switch. When you grab a hold of a vision, you light yourself up. If you think of the universe as a hologram, the spot that you occupy becomes lit up and can be seen by other like-minded people. I do think that Periscope is our clumsy attempt to recreate in our tangible reality our true oneness on other levels. We don't know how to do it in our souls. We know that it is what we are, and so we've created this, and the internet too, because we know that we're connected, and we want to feel connected in this world too. Ooh, the rain's coming, so my signal may go. I don't know if you can hear it. It's raining really hard. Okay. Holding your vision makes you energetically more visible and magnetic to those who are going to assist you, calling them into your life path. Then you can assist them too, helping them fulfill their spiritual destiny. Holding a vision of lightness and happiness benefits all. Yes, the time for us doing things alone is over. We were lonely before the internet. We were really lonely, I think. Yeah, the time for us functioning in a vacuum, doing our solo practice is done. We're done with that. If you are aware of a budding vision and have been holding back, okay, listen up. Focus up, people. If you're aware of a budding vision and have been holding back, thinking it's too much, shed your doubts and open your heart to it. Do not concern yourself with how it can happen. Do not concern yourself with how it can happen. I feel like I need a pulpit. Do not concern yourselves with how it's going to happen. Jesus alla Buddha. Jeebus alla Buddha. Where's me a book to thump? Hard blast. TD Jakes, I love him. Do not be concerned with how. Bishop Jakes, he's hilarious. Okay. I feel like I should be sweating and walking back and forth. The worst thing we can do to ourselves is have a dream and then rip it all apart in our own head. For God's sakes, it's our own head. Can we not just allow our dream expansion inside our own mind? Whew. Where's my handkerchief? It's our own brains, and we won't even let ourselves dream big in the privacy of our own minds. That has to stop. That has to stop. Damn it. The exercise that I give in level 2, I know, where's my water? Where's my chorus of people behind me? It's you guys. Y'all start singing. The exercise of writing down every single thing you want is meant to show you that even in the privacy of your own mind, you won't let yourself want as much as you want. And hearing the stories about why that is can be done by sitting and writing down everything that you want. You'll find yourself freezing up and not letting yourself write down your big, wild, fantastical dreams, such as coming across $11,111,000. Yeah, get the boulders out of your head. Amazing Grace. Awesome. Okay. Do not concern yourself with how it can happen. When a vision comes from the heart as inspiration, there's that word again, inspiration. Jeebus alla Buddha inspiration. Hey, Ben. Okay. When a vision comes from the heart as inspiration, which we've just been talking about all morning, it is the Holy Mother whispering to you in imagery, speaking of what will be if only you will allow her to flow through you so that you may become all that you are destined to be, which is a manifestation of her miraculous grace. This is the card we're reading, Our Lady of New Vision. So beautiful. There is nothing that is too simple or too grand. What matters is not the scope of the vision, but that it has enough of your heart in it to move you. Everybody take a deep breath. Good reminder. If the vision doesn't have enough of your heart to move you, it's this deck. It's not going to happen. If you're holding on to the quickest way to know if it's a vision that someone told you should have, is if it activates your heart. If it doesn't activate your heart, it's not yours. What did Catherine post recently that says, if the door doesn't open, it wasn't for you. The dream wasn't for you. If it doesn't make your heart get a little Twitter-pated when you think about it, it's not big enough. And it's not for you. If it feels like I should develop an email list, fuck that. It's not. Let it go. Don't do it. If it doesn't Twitter-pate you, if it doesn't scare you a little, if it doesn't make you go and kind of hold your breath a little, it's not big enough. Go bigger. Dream bigger. If the door is locked, go out the window. Be careful that you're on the first floor. Or hop out a upper floor and grow some wings. There's all kinds of options, right? Call Batman to come and get you with some cool tool that he created. Because who wouldn't want Batman to come to their house? Heart detector. Yeah, use a heart detector. Does it make your heart skip a beat? Your vision? If it doesn't, don't do it. Don't waste your time. Go on to something else. What matters is not the scope, but that it has enough of your heart in it to move you, to prompt you to pray with all your being for her help to manifest it. You can get all the help you need. Ask God, ask angels, ask guides, ask power animals, whatever it is you want to call it. Ask for help. Let the vision shimmer into light and life through your prayer and her assistance, okay? You don't have to do it all by yourself. You never were meant to do it all by yourself. That is an American Calvinist Pilgrim Times garbagey thing that we need to let go of. Let the vision shimmer into light and life through your prayer and her assistance. If you are not aware of the vision as yet, then be open to receive the sacred knowing of where to focus your intention, your desire, and your energy. You focus by choosing a goal. And if it Twitter-pates your heart a little, then it's a perfect goal. And then you get fierce about that goal. God, everything is like Synchronicity City around here. You get fierce about that dream, but you stay flexible. Fierce, but flexible. You grab onto that vision, and you grab onto that dream, and you grab onto that desire, and you pray, and you allow help, and you imagine, and you enjoy it to the fullest, and then you're flexible about how it happens. Mike Dooley calls those the cursed hows. Fleece but flexible. I love autocorrect. Oh, okay. No matter where you are, waiting for your true vision, or your heart has already shown you that what it wishes to manifest, this oracle comes. This oracle comes with a message for you. This is your time to pray, to receive. Remember our basket container? Like, open your arms up to receive. When in doubt, put on your fleece. You know, Web Evie says, she took the Desire Map workshop, and there's a section where it says, when in doubt, and a blank. And she says, when in doubt, reboot. When in doubt, just reboot. This oracle comes with a message for you. This is your time to pray to receive. Hold open your container and then let it go. In, out, in, out. Pray to receive and to act on your intuitions and instincts, no matter how small they may seem to be. Simply stopping in a pottery store on a whim can lead to a contact that leads to a contact that makes you think you're going in a big, ridiculous circle, but it could wind up in an avenue toward creating your dream, toward manifesting it in this reality. The Divine Mother is a genius of manifestation, and she will have her creations come to life through the simplest and most ordinary of steps that somehow combine to manifest extraordinary beauty. And a gift for my mother and 2 women that I'm going to be meeting up with later in the week. It's a little something, something. It doesn't have to be, it's not movie dramatic. Dreams coming true is generally pretty small steps, and then all of a sudden you're there. Reboot for me looks like stopping and breathing and remembering how I want to feel. How do I want to feel again? Oh, divine ease. Does this feel like divine ease? No. Well, then when was the last time I felt divine ease? And how can I get back there? Or I was working with this one. Tanya actually made this for me, Divine Beloved. I was working with that one for a while. Yeah. What does it feel like to be connected to the divine? Get some space. Take a breath. Journal. Be. Yeah. To breathe, to sit, to be, to just stop the madness of overthinking. If you cannot see yet, trust that she sees and is guiding you toward receiving and realizing the new vision. This is a time for inspiration and hope. It's time to dream and receive, knowing that what is dreamed now is under the blessing of the Holy Mother. Okay, here is a healing process for you guys, okay? For y'all dreamers, dreamers and creators and beloveds and holy wanderers, you fringe people. I only want to hang out with fringe people. Mainstream people just steal my air. You hear that tiller in the background? He made that tiller out of a bike motor and a bunch of welding stuff. God, it's really loud. He tried to make a boat motor and it didn't work, so he turned it into a tiller instead. Yeah, let's live on the fringe. Okay, here's your healing process. Sit quietly and focus your breath. Oh, the potato gun! I totally forgot. Yeah, that's some major creativity. Hey, let's make a boat motor. Oh, it didn't work. Let's make it a tiller instead. Let's take it off of this frame and weld up a new frame out of an old frame and make a tiller. The potato gun. Let me write that down. Because he did want to make that. Who doesn't want to make a potato gun, right? Let's go pick up some Aquanet. That is really loud, though. All right, here it is. And you can do this along with, I'll read it slowly, so if you want to do it right now, you totally can. With the sound of the tiller in the background, with all apologies. Oh boy. Okay, sit quietly and focus on your breath. You can even put a hand on your diaphragm. Take a big deep breath. Okay, good. When you inhale at the top, get a little more air. Yeah. And when you exhale at the bottom, exhale hard and really push out all the air. Breathe that way a few times. On each inhalation, imagine you're following the breath deep into your belly. On each exhalation, imagine that the breath rises up as a wave of light into your heart. Inhale, imagining following the breath into your belly. Exhale, imagining the breath rises up as a wave of light into your heart. And repeat this gentle breathing for several moments. Then, within your heart, imagine, sense, or feel that there is a beautiful, large, feminine eye blinking gently, and that eye is as large as the world. Imagine, sense, or feel that you can see through that eye and you see many possibilities before you. You may sense colors or scenes. You may see symbols or feelings. You may feel something in your body. Or it may seem like you don't sense anything at all, and just be at peace with whatever happens for you now. Now imagine that you can look down at that eye in your heart and it looks back at you with utter love and devotion. Receive that love freely. Can you imagine that? That the eyes of the mother are looking at you with utter love and devotion, no matter what. Imagine that a flash of light is released from that eye straight into your mind. This is a blessing from the mother, a blessing that you may receive a vision or be empowered to bring new vision that you already have access to into your life. A flash of light is released from her eye straight into your mind, and I would say right here to activate your third eye so that you can see so much more is available to you than what you allow yourself to have right now. So much more is there for you to see. So much more is there for you to express into the world if you will just allow the receiving of it and the help in the expressing of it. Receiving it in and expressing it out. Silently in your mind or out loud say, "For the greatest good, may it be so." Be peaceful in this moment, held within her love, held within the total and unconditional acceptance that comes from the divine beloved, that comes from being embraced by the divine mother energy, held, comforted, healed, affirmed that whatever you want, you wouldn't want it if it wasn't appropriate for you. When you are ready, complete your healing process with the following prayer of affirmation, repeated 3 times, out loud if possible. If you can't say it out loud, I'll say it out loud for you. Mother Mary, Our Lady of New Vision, blesses me now with insight from deep within the Sacred Heart. All resources, opportunities, synchronicity, and assistance that are needed to bring the holy vision into manifest reality are bestowed upon me now. With a grateful heart, I allow this to happen through me, through my own free will, so be it. That's the first time. We're going to read it 3 times. Mother Mary, Our Lady of New Vision, blesses me now with insight from deep within the Sacred Heart. All resources, opportunities, synchronicity, and assistance that are needed to bring the holy vision into manifest reality are bestowed upon me now. With a grateful heart, I allow this to happen through me, through my own free will, so be it. One more time. Mother Mary, Our Lady of New Vision, blesses me now with insight from deep within the Sacred Heart. All resources, opportunities, synchronicity, and assistance that are needed to bring my holy vision into manifest reality are bestowed upon me now. With a grateful heart, I allow this to happen through me, through my own free will, so be it. So be it, see to it, as Octavia Butler would say. So be it, see to it. Make the decision today that you're going to allow, and so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. There's nothing stronger than mother's love. Yes. So true. So true. Amen. Yeah. Make it so. You can Picard it. Make it so. The Picard method of manifestation is issuing your orders to Riker and then saying, make it so. You can issue your orders to the universe and then just tell it, make it so. And then focus on feeling how you want to feel. Oh, happy full moon tomorrow, okay? It's beautiful out here. The full moon is so beautiful out here because it's so dark and it's generally cloudy and it's all kind of a little spooky, weird looking. Whew. Big magic today for us. Love you very much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. You're my number one and my +1. Yes, me too. I'm a diehard Star Trek fan. I'm not good at remembering the details of which series came when. I would, I don't have good cred with the nerds, but I do love it. Oh, you're welcome. I had to stretch my back, popped right in that heart place in the back. So, I've been sitting here for a while. So, love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for being part of my accountability daily practice. I appreciate it so much. This group energy, I appreciate it so much. So, yeah, it was a good day today. And I'm going to go read now and do nothing. Right. See you later. I'll see you tomorrow with a twin scope. So we'll see how much we can get done.